Broadcasting from the Teddy Belanger Memorial Studio in Rome, New York. Welcome into episode 120 of the Avetts and Beyond. My name's Todd Emanuele. Ryan Boyle's not with me tonight. He's out sick. It's an excused absence, so we'll let it slide this week. But hopefully he'll be back with us next week. He better be, because we got a big show next week that we are recording that I can't tell you about yet, but it's coming. Joining us tonight, though, pitch hitting as my co-host, which he's hosted this show before, and he's welcome anytime he wants to come on. Tim Mossberger is back to chat Avetts things and more, Avetts and beyond. Hey, we could say that because we're here. Tim, thanks for coming on again tonight.
No problem. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you're the wealth of knowledge, the archivist of the Avetts brothers, and we have things to talk about. I know one thing we wanted to get you on for to talk about was the updates to the database, which is, I love the updates to the database. Can you tell us a little bit about how long this took, this whole update process, and what it's all about?
Well, it's definitely, it's been in the works for a while, that's for sure. And it took, it definitely took like a year. Just out of them, there was the planning of it. We had people test out things and interviewed people, Avetts fans, like how would they improve it? What do you got any ideas? So that took a while, and then we just came up with other ideas to do, and Paul, who does the coding and things, it just took a while to get it going, and then we just kind of wanted to, I think, could have maybe have it done sooner, but just to wait to when we did it was fine.
So what are the improvements? Can you talk about it a little bit?
Well, just the overall, the look and ease of, finding things was a big thing, obviously, just like to redo the look of it. And I think that we improved that, just the way it looks overall, and then how you can find stuff. And then there's other things like the community part where, people can put in their chase songs, their favorite albums, and then it ranks them. It ranks now the trivia part, where before the trivia was on there, but now you can do it and it has scores. And then we're going to update the trivia at some point here.
That's good. But, we kind of took off with that trivia thing there for a little while, a couple of weeks.
Like it went crazy. We'll redo it and it'll be fun. People get another chance.
It was fun.
Different, like it gives you more information now, like of when something's updated and when's like the new stuff that's added. And there's just, just an overall look of it's different. And there's lots of little things that are different when you go through it all. Just little changes. So, I just think it's streamlined and it's so much better looking.
It really is. It's sharp.
Yeah.
And I like how easy it is to move around. And I love the chase songs and favorite songs and all that stuff. I love that feature. And I like how you can tabulate, overall what the top chase songs are and all that. I haven't looked at it in a bit. So has it changed at all since the first?
I haven't looked at it. I was kind of waiting till we get closer to, when we get closer to they start touring here and start playing. It'll be interesting to see, I'll kind of push it again to kind of get more people to fill it out. I'd have to look to see how many people filled it out. That'll be the thing. It takes some time for people to go through and fill it up. And once more people do, it'll be interesting.
Well, once they go in and check it out and see how easy it is to get around inside of there now and find everything, and I think it'll be something that people will do. Now, a lot of people probably still don't even know about the database being there. People that are fans of the band. It's crazy to me, I see it all the time on like the rejects page or different pages. Oh, I didn't even know this exists. Like, how do you not know that if you're on this page?
My thing is, I just think if you don't spend a lot of time online, or depending on what comes up in your feed, you don't see everything, and then people just. But every time, like say around Red Rocks, we'll get a bunch of people sign up.
Of course. Right.
Those kind of things, the word kind of spreads here and there.
Yeah.
Like we still have a steady stream of people. Let me see if I can look where so far right now, the top chase songs, it's a tie between A Gift for Melody Ann and Once and Future Carpenter.
Oh, wow. Once and Future Carpenter. That's cool. Then, that's up there on my list.
Yeah, that's something that, obviously when it was first played, it, kind of got played a lot. And then it went down real quick to just, a few times a year to now it's, not even that. It doesn't get played very often. you know.
I heard it performed at Swept Away. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah,
Avett Brothers, but
yeah, like 2018, it got played 3 times, and then
wow.
19 twice, and then once in 2023 and once in 2024. So it kind of,
Maybe 2026 will be the year it comes back. Who knows?
yeah. At least
Do you think they'll
it.
play like the set list that they're planning for the Avett Patton shows? Do you think some of that stuff is going to leak into just regular Avett shows? Like they're going to play some Mike Patton stuff without Mike Patton being there? Or
Yeah,
how
it
do you
wouldn't
think
surprise me, especially if they. Well, my thing is would be if they what songs they really like playing. You got to imagine one or two. I mean, I
Some
wouldn't
will
expect the
sneak
whole
in,
set
sure.
list or anything, but
No,
it wouldn't surprise
no.
me if one or two songs, like if they like playing them. I mean,
Well, Scott's obviously been working on stuff. He's been
yeah,
posting all
so-
these things on
and
Instagram.
Scott,
practicing.
wrote most of it. I mean, if there's a
Right.
song they like playing, it'll probably stick around.
That's cool.
bit.
I think it's going to be really interesting. Those shows. I think people are in for a treat, and
So do I. I mean,
some people don't even know it.
like I want to hear Mike Patton sing gospel songs. That's what I'm excited about. Like I'm excited for the fact that they're, and like you saw Mike Patton was on a podcast and talked about how, they're going to really break it up. Like sometimes it'll be the three of them. Sometimes they're going to switch out just like they do in Avetts shows, sometimes,
You're not saying for the whole show though, right? Just bits and pieces here and there like they do at an Avetts show. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, my thing is it's going to be, feel like it's just going to be, I know people are freaking out about it, but I feel like it's going to be an Avetts show with just Mike Patton hanging. It's like,
right.
He's going to sing his songs, and I'm sure they'll perform, either Faith No More song or Mr. Bungle song or Tomahawk song. They'll perform some of those things, but that's not any different than them playing a cover of somebody else, except for, someone will be singing, Mike will be singing some. Right. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be that much different than the Avetts show. Maybe even sometimes more exciting than it has been in recent years because they'll really mix it up. And yes, they'll play the new album, but it's only 9 songs and 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Right.
It's not going to take up, it's not like it's taking, like that's all you're getting.
Right. I think it's going to be fascinating. I can't wait to see the set lists from those shows. I think it's going to be awesome. But it'd be like they're playing like Anthony's song, Moving Out, and Billy Joel comes out and plays with him. That's what it's going to be like with Mike Patton. They're doing Faith No More.
A little bit, at New Year's they have in recent New Year's. Mickey Raphael plays harmonica. They've had guests before. And then this is more. There'll be obviously a handful of shows that are going to be. They'll have a guest. That's what I feel like it's going to be. So
I just need them to announce some Central New York shows. They haven't announced any shows yet. Yeah. They come here every year, and I'm scared because they've normally announced it by now, and we haven't heard anything. Maybe it's coming this week. Maybe we'll hear more announcements this week of more shows coming. But I'm getting nervous that they're not going to be anywhere near me this year.
Yeah, I don't know. But we'll see. I mean, you got to imagine there's at least some more shows in the fall.
There has to be. So. There has to be. So we'll see. But it's almost March, and those shows in New York are normally in May, so we're running out of time. There's time, but we're running out of time for those to be announced. Anyway, maybe I'm putting it into the universe because it's going to come out this week. That would be nice. I would appreciate that. Hey, one thing you wanted to talk about, I know, was Avett Madness that's coming out again soon, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I haven't picked a date of when we'll start it, but it's probably like the second week of March. We'll start voting. I have the bracket done pretty much.
Nice.
So
did the kids help with it this year, or is it just all you?
Yeah, I go through with Hazel. I let her, listen to some songs. I play, especially so this year, this is I think the 16th year. So and every year, so obviously for a lot of those years, if I put in like all the favorite songs, it's pretty predictable. The final four is like Laundry Room, if it's The Beaches, 10,000 Words, and then throw in anything from Please Pardon Yourself to, it's pretty predictable. So in the last probably like 7 years, I've really tried to mix it up. I've either taken those out sometimes, kind of just did, different things. I've done like one side before Rick Rubin, one side after. I mean, I've done a lot of different variations and, and people every year, I get the, how could this not be in there? I'm like,
every time.
Not like, this isn't the real, this isn't the NCAA tournament and Duke and, Kansas is going to be in there every year. It's just supposed to be fun and a way for people to hopefully, my goal of this every year is maybe people, my favorite part is when people start talking and making comments, and you find out I find out someone I know that a song they really love and why they love it.
Yeah.
And and maybe it changes how I view the song. Maybe I didn't really care for that song, and then I hear someone's story about the song. I'm like, oh, I've never thought about it that way. And then there's people who, yes, I mean, I've heard everything they've done, but there's other people don't listen to everything, and that's fine. That doesn't make them, it's fine to be a fan. That if you just, you love emotionalism and a few other things, but maybe you discover something else during it, a song that you do like, a song you didn't really know much about. To me, that's always the goal. And this year, I'm going with kind of all what I feel are kind of their underrated songs that I think are really solid songs that don't, maybe a lot of people don't know. And that's all 64 is that. And I'm covering just anything they've ever written. So it doesn't have to even be just Avett Brothers. Some Nightmare songs are in there, Darling songs.
Oh, nice.
So I put in.
There's so many Darling songs. Not to interrupt you, there's so many Darling songs that I think people probably have never heard that are so like underrated. I'm excited to see that in there then, because I think that'll get people to listen to this stuff more.
I mean, and I've done a whole Darling bracket before. I forget what year that is.
That must be fun. Before me.
But again, most people didn't know them. A lot of them obviously didn't know them, and didn't know them as well as Avett songs. They may have heard them, but they didn't really know them. But I just felt like this was a good way to do that, like to kind of mix it up this year, get a lot of different stuff. And obviously there's some ranges, everything from the beginning to now, everything. And I obviously got some, help from other people who felt like what they felt was underrated. So it isn't just me. I didn't just be like, these are my 64,
well,
because
if Hazy was
the first bracket was what I felt was my 64. And then, I heard other people's opinion and kind of like, let's switch out some songs, I don't make
I was going to say with Hazy's opinion in there, I like that because she's like a music expert.
Yeah, she has her opinions, that's for sure. It's funny.
Speaking of that, I've got to mention this. I don't know how much you want to talk about it, but she's been reading Harry Potter. I know you've been posting about that a lot with her Harry Potter obsession, and I think it's great. But she started doing a podcast, right?
Well, yeah, at least one episode, like recording her thoughts on it, and she wants to have she obviously wants to have me as a guest and just talk. She just wants to talk about books, and specifically at this point, Harry Potter. She's in book 6.
Wow!
So she's getting really.
How fast has she read? How fast has she gotten to book 6? When did she start?
She started. I looked at it yesterday. She started December 22nd, I think. And she's in book 6. She's read other, and she is reading for school she has to do. So she's actually read some other books in the between there. So she's all in, hopes that we've kind of given up TV and things. And so she just reads constantly. We're driving somewhere. She brings her book. She's just carrying a book everywhere.
That is so awesome, though. How old is she?
She's 10.
10 years old, and she's on book 6 of Harry Potter and reading other stuff. That's crazy.
My favorite thing so far is, I can't remember what book it is, but she talks about it to me constantly, and this is why I got her talking. She's like, I should make a podcast, and I was like, I didn't even know you knew what a podcast was. She's like, well, I just want to talk about the books. I want to share my things. But she went on this thing of saying, because there's someone, I forget who it is, somebody asks the question, what's worse than death? And so she went into this thing. She's like, I know what's worse than death. She goes, you know what is when you turn evil and your heart is evil. That's actually worse than dying. And she just went on. I was like, wow, that's
smart though,
that's
man.
really good, Hazel. And
deep thoughts.
Yeah, I know. But then she just also, she finds it all very funny. She gets freaked out by the lovey stuff. Obviously, she's not into boys. She doesn't like any of that stuff. She thinks that's crazy. But she loves that Hermione's very smart, and she just loves it. But she's concerned now. She's at the book 6, so she's things are happening, and she's very worried.
Stuff, yeah. So after she reads the books, are you going to let her watch the movies, or does she want to?
She wants to. Well, she's watched the first movie.
Oh, okay.
And then, after watching the first, she'd read the first book and then watched the first movie, and she was just like, well, I like the books better, but I want to read all the books, then we'll watch them. And I was like, that's fine. I'll let her
That's
watch
a
it.
good
She
idea.
wants to watch the movies because that was
That's good.
actually what I think. Seeing the movie, the first movie. Okay, in the first movie, Hermione like raises her hand a bunch. It's just like, God, I know the answer, and she just looks at me and goes, "That's me. I do that in school all the time. I raise my hand for everything."
That's
So
great. Teachers must love that.
yeah, she's a good kid.
She is. So the podcast, are you actually gonna like post it somewhere, put it out?
Yeah,
Because
well,
I think a lot
we
of
put
people would
episode
listen
I
to
put
that.
episode 1 on YouTube.
Oh, you did?
She doesn't want her picture. She doesn't want like her. She recorded video, but she didn't want the video and have her face on there, which I said that's fine. But she
That's
wanted the
fine.
audio, so we took a picture of Hermione, like she has a sticker, and it's on YouTube now.
I'm looking it up after we hang up here. So I'm gonna cut this off now so I can go watch. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's pretty short. I mean, she talks for like 12 minutes or so. So
that's great
but
though.
it's
So
funny.
she gets freaked out by like thinking of people listening to her, or is she okay with that?
I don't know how it comes and goes. Like sometimes she's very confident about it, and other times she's just worried. She's worried, and I said it's fine. And I don't think it's not public. I think I have it,
Okay.
unlisted. So I could
Well,
share
that's
the
probably
link.
smart.
But
Yeah,
because it's just
sure,
something she
sure.
wanted to do, and then and that's I just wanted to see it, and she followed through with it, and I think that's fine.
When she gets a little bit older, I can't wait to see what she's doing. She's such a creative, smart kid. It's fascinating to me because I know how my kids are and how they've grown up, and uh,
Well,
no,
your daughter's an
what's that?
artist, right? Doesn't she?
My oldest,
Yeah.
both of my
Yeah.
daughters are
Okay.
artsy, but my older is, she's going to school to be, she's a psychology major with an art therapy minor. So she's going to be involved with art and kids and loves teaching and helping kids. So, but yeah, she's an amazing artist. Uh, I think back to her paintings when she was like Hazy's age and how simple they were, but my gosh, within a couple of years, how it just turned into like amazing art. It doesn't take long for that. If you're passionate about it, like I'm sure Hazy will be passionate about something because she's a passionate kid.
Yeah.
It's exciting to think about that. But you got some time. Enjoy her while she's young, right? We don't want to rush all that because the next thing you know, you wake up and she's turning 23 and graduating from grad school, and it's nuts,
Yeah.
man. It goes so fast. And yeah, I could talk about all three of them like that. But yeah, anyway, I'm excited to see how confident she is talking about Harry Potter, because I know she was scared coming on when she came on this show a
Yeah.
couple of times. I know she was like terrified about coming on, but once she started talking, like she warmed right up. Kind of. She was still scared, I think, but it was fun. Anyway, Hazy's going places. Looking forward to that. That'll be for another episode. We could talk about that in like 10 years. All right. So what else we got going on in the Avet world that you want to talk about? Was there anything else? Let's see.
Trying to think what else is going on. See, we cover the database.
The database thing is exciting. Again, if you haven't checked it out, go check it out.
We got Bob's book coming up. We got what else? Just the tour. Kind of not obviously a lot going on. I'm doing stuff. I've been adding lots of photos to the database. Like I'm going through every year. And I have, because obviously I've been collecting photos for years and tracking them down for years. And now I'm like making sure like each database page, each set list page, do they got pictures? And what I have only missing a couple for 2011. And then 2012, I had everything. 2013, I think I got everything. And then 2000, I'm almost done with 2014. And I think I have pictures for every show. Oh, well.
That's nuts.
So then I'm going through every year. And when I do that, I'm actually trying to make sure set lists are correct and everything on the information's on there correct.
Right.
But and then I'll go through and start adding information about, if there's lyric changes and any other information about the show, I'll start adding that too next. So like everything can be on the database. So
it's cool. That's cool.
And
now, did you get to check out the episode with Nathan Butler?
Yeah.
he was fascinating, and he has so much stuff. I don't know if you've reached out to him directly, but the pictures and stuff that he has, it's probably all stuff that you already have from his
David
dad.
sent me everything, I think.
Okay.
I mean,
So
maybe there could possibly be something, but most of everything David sent me a while ago. So I should have everything.
His stories were great, though. I could have talked to him all night. He was pretty fascinating.
That's one thing in the Avetts Madness bracket. I put David's favorite Darling song is in there. I had to put in there. So
nice.
I did that because so just and some other people made me think that, like, that's where I try to keep track of. I mean, I do keep track of a lot of obviously all the Avid information I can, but I truly do keep track of fan things too. If I do. I mean, I still have a giant list in every, and I maybe should add it. I guess I have to ask everybody, but I mean, I have in my folders for each show, I have lists of people if it was your first show or not. I mean, I can just look on any day and be like, oh, this day had, these 4 people, this was their first David show.
Oh, I mean, that's cool.
I kept track of all that information when I see it or when I got it from people. I mean, so, and anything, and other little things like that. I mean, any kind of stories, I still click and save. I don't know, don't know whatever I'll do with it or what. I just think it's worth saving personally. So.
Well, that's what an archivist does, isn't it? So, you just save everything.
So, yeah. So, I guess my thing is I've always tried to make it to me, it's not just about the band, because I don't think, we wouldn't have a band if it wasn't for the fans.
Right.
And I think it's equally as important. And I think that's one thing that separates me from, like, I've met people who keep a track of a lot of information about their favorite artist and do something similar, especially when we're talking about like Bob Dylan world. There's a lot of people who, obsess over his songs and all these things, but it's almost exclusively always about just the songs and the artist. And I, a long time ago, was just like, the fans are just as big a part of the story. And
with the Avetts, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. Like, they are such a big part of the everything about the band. Like, it's just a huge part of it. I agree. All right, can I give you I'm gonna give away our guest next week, because we kind of already talked about it before, but I don't know what day we're recording yet, but Bob is coming on to talk about his book. Yeah, so he's coming back on. It'll be his second appearance on the show. We've been chatting back and forth trying to figure out when we can find time to record, but we're gonna make it happen sometime next week. He wants to do it the first week of March. So his book comes out, what, the 10th or 11th?
Yeah, this is the 10th.
10th, yeah. I'm excited to read the book, actually, from all the stuff he's been talking about it. He's such a smart guy. I feel so stupid when I'm talking to him, because I don't know all that stuff, but I feel good because he talks about it more than me having to ask him questions, because he's just way smarter than me. Ryan, Ryan there. But
it's funny, not like, obviously I've read, I don't know that I've read more than, obviously, pretty much almost every interview they ever give. And even in the early days, like, there's 2004 interviews and Bob's talking about reading history books.
Yeah.
It's, ask a question like, what, there'll be an interview like, what are you guys reading or what are you listening to? And Bob's like, oh, I just read a book, about, this history book. And, so, he's true when he mentions that, he used to always on tour, he would just read history books. And it's true, he would mention it back in the early days in interviews, that's what he would be reading. So
it's no wonder Jim Abbott loves Bob so much, because with him and his history books too. But Bob's coming on next week. We're going to talk about that book, and we're going to help sell some books, I think, maybe.
Yeah, I already ordered mine long time ago.
Say a long time ago. Yep. Yeah. I'm excited for it. Did you also get did you do the thing to get the Garrett Moreland print that he was signing?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, there's like a drawing Garrett Moreland did and Bob signed, and if you pre-ordered it and sent in your receipt, he'd send one to you. So you should.
I didn't see that. That's all right. Those are pretty cool. I saw the drawings.
That'd be good for the archive.
I just didn't see how to get one. I thought, it's all right. They're pretty nice though. Garrett's he's pretty talented. So.
Garrett? Oh my God, yeah. Super talented. All right. Well, so Bob, next week, look for that. It'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Anything else? We can let you go.
Not much else. Just working on things. I'll keep
The
We'll have
Patreon.
to talk more about the database. Maybe we'll get Paul on here.
I would love to do that. I've talked about that. But I don't know how easy it is. I don't know what his work schedule is or what his schedule in general is.
And especially like we'll have to update the trivia, and maybe we'll have maybe you and Ryan can have a competition live doing the trivia.
That's scary. Oh, he knows more than I do, I think, but I don't know. I'm catching up in my knowledge of that stuff. I did pretty good on that trivia.
Well, at least, as I'm saying, the trivia thing, there's a lot of audio ones, and things like that. Not everything is super hard. Super rare things that hard to like where did Scott, what was Scott driving when he wrote Tin Man? Didn't ask that question. I wouldn't expect that many people to know it.
Well, wait, let me see if I know that one. Do I know that one? Was it his station wagon there?
No. He was driving a van to Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that one. There you go. 0 for 1. Thanks, Tim.
So, but just so we'll redo it, and we'll have to get Paul, and we'll do something.
That's a good idea to do a live competition between Ryan and I, just to see. That's going to be with all new questions, though, because we memorized all the other questions that were on.
Those have to be new. So.
All right. Well, always fun checking in with you. Go check out the database, the Patreon. You want to plug that quick, too, to have people go check that out?
The long story short on Patreon. There's a database Patreon, too. Issue 71 will be up soon. There's a pretty cool 2005 show going to be in there, along with we're going to look at an album that Scott and Seth produced with G Love.
Oh, nice.
So go back to that story and how that came about, and some other things, some other interesting things. And then in the following issue, the 72 issue, which will be after that, is going to be pretty cool, because I'm going to put in there all of every kind of band bio about the band they've ever put out.
Nice.
So I think that'll be pretty interesting. You get to compare them, like anything every time they've put out, from the mission statement for 2009, the emotionalism, like everything they putting out. But they did that in the very beginning. There's the one in 2001, and then changed it a few months after that, and added some new paragraphs, then changed it again at 2002, changed it again in 2003. So there's a lot of little changes that
will be cool.
I can't imagine many people have read them, and I've saved them a long time ago.
I've read some of them, but I definitely haven't read all of them. So that'll be interesting to see. Look at that. Bob Crawford just texted me right now to set up a date. How about that? It's like he heard us talking about him.
All right.
All right, Tim. Thank you so much for coming on. I always appreciate it. And we'll have you back soon to talk more Avetts stuff. Have a good night.
You too.